All right, today we're talking about big bad guys. Villains, or specifically villains that matter. Not just big bads with scary stat blocks and a fistful of legendary actions, but the kind of villains that actually get under your player's skin. Let's dig into what makes a villain stick with your players until long after the campaign ends. You know, for me, the best villains aren't just evil, they're personal. It's not about blowing up the world, it's about what they take from the characters. When a villain burns down a player's hometown, betrays someone they love, or manipulates them into making the wrong call, that hits hard. Now, I've had villains in my games who've challenged the party's sense of identity. Like, they were doing something that on paper looked right, but it turned out it wasn't. Now, these villains weren't cackling maniacs. They were doing what had to be done. But in the process, they bulldoze a player's virtues, and that forced the party to take a good hard look at themselves. You have to remember that each villain is a hero of their own story. Some of the best villains are the ones where the players have to ask, are we stopping them because they're evil or because they're right? And we can't handle that. That's when you get arguments at the table. And these are the good kind of arguments. Tactical disagreements, moral dilemmas, sometimes even the question, well, maybe we should work with them. And yeah, I've had players make deals with villains. They hated it, they grind their teeth the whole time, but they did it because it made sense, because the villain just wasn't an obstacle. They had agency, a plan. They had a reason. That's another key. Villains that matter have goals. They act, they reach out, they tempt the party with something real, safety, power, information, even mercy. And when that offer is on the table, the players have to choose. Not necessarily fight, but they have to choose. And when they do defeat that kind of villain, it means something because the party changed along the way. Maybe they became more like the villain. Maybe they had to sacrifice something. Or maybe they realized they're not the same people who started on this journey. So, if you want to make a villain that matters, make it personal, make it complex, and most of all, make it about the players. Let me know in the comments what's the best villain you've ever run, or the one that's messed up your party the most, or the one that's blown up your campaign. And if you dig this kind of GM advice, storytelling breakdowns, and all the things like fantasy, subscribe and hang out with us here at the Big Bad Dungeon. Because here at the Big Bad Dungeon, we believe great games deserve great stories.